If you're buying or selling your home, I got the people for you. The Bart Merrick team, and we have one on the couch right now.
How you doing, Crystal Van?
Good. Thanks for having me in.
Woo-woo.
So I'm serious about this. So Bart and Crystal are super smart and also super experienced,
They are.
right? So if you're looking to buy a house, they're going to make sure you get the best deal for that house and know everything going into it. And we make a huge purchase, and their experience is top notch.
Yeah, and you want somebody like Crystal that can eagle eye it, and somebody with like Bart. You have the experience, and now Crystal has the experience. But one of the things I love most about Crystal is her attention to detail with everything. She will remember that she needs to inform you of things. She will call you, check in, keep you informed, and never let you feel like the ball has been dropped. And that's the peace of mind that I liked when I was buying and selling a house. And I have used the Bart Merrick team, and it was the easiest transaction with home buying I've ever done.
Babe,
Yeah.
you're good at your job.
Yeah.
Hey.
You're not,
It's funny because sometimes I feel like I'm not. Like I always feel like other people are better than me, but then I work on the other side, and I'm like, oh no, that person doesn't know. It's like reassurance that I am doing a good job, and that Bart and I do.
It's okay to be confident in yourself.
Yeah, it is. And sometimes that's hard, but it is.
I will say it because I've seen Crystal deal with other realtors, and I know Crystal and Bart don't like to
from Mr.
talk
Compliments.
trash. But
This is coming from Mr. Compliments.
I know,
No, I'm kidding. He doesn't give out compliments, so if he's saying this, it's you.
because the people you're working with have a realtor, and your interactions with them, it makes me sad for their clients because I'm like, oh man, they are getting screwed because their realtor is bad and inexperienced and doesn't know anything.
Yeah.
And these people don't know that this realtor they're using is inexperienced.
Make the
and doesn't
process
know.
easier.
Yeah.
Take away some of the anxiety that you have for arguably the biggest decision of your life, right? I mean, you're picking your dwelling. It doesn't get any bigger than that. So get a hold of the Bart Merrick team. It's barttherealtor.com.
Yeah, things are getting a lot easier right now for buyers too. Buyers have choice now. There's, homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer, so they have more to choose from. We are able to negotiate prices a little bit better. We're able to negotiate terms a little bit better. So, things are softening up a little. It's not as hard as it was a year, 2 years ago, and the rates are starting to come down. So it's actually a really good time for buyers to come into the market and start looking at, the future, looking at getting into a home.
Awesome.
BartTheRealtor.com.
Live from the Injured on the Go Just Call Mo studio.
It's a blast!
It's Orlando's own Tom and Dan.
Hello. This is your Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan program. We hope that you will find our presentation precise, joke heavy, and just right. Thanks.
Welcome to the Friday free show of A Mediocre Time.
It is another A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Dan.
I'm Tom.
No Samantha. She is celebrating her anniversary. Happiest of anniversaries, Samantha and Travis. We hope you guys made the best of this rainy, cold week at Disney.
Yeah, we're on our group text. She was saying it was rainy and cold.
Yeah. But she, she loves the Disney. I'm sure she, if anything, you just pump.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I would do. I mean, I would look at that as just pump.
Yeah.
Shouldn't even be thinking about what the hell am I got? On the couch, you know him, you love him from the Orlando Talk Show with his name attached to it, Ross McCoy.
Hey, guys.
How you doing, Ross?
This is like Audubon Park days.
Oh, yeah, it is kind of. I think I killed the music there for a second. Sorry. It is. It's very much like the Audubon Park. The old school, we rush in here.
Yeah.
Tom and I are trying to find what beer is on sale. Typically, it's Dos Equis or Pacifico.
Speaking of beer, there's a beer fest tomorrow at the Orlando Science Center, Science on Tap Beer Fest.
Yes, sir.
We're all going to be out there. You can use promo code TomandDan50 for $10 off your ticket. That gives you a $50 ticket. It's a super nice beer fest, super high quality. Lock Haven Park next to the Science Center, so it's right here down the road.
Yeah.
And it's going to be nice and cool. Hoodie Cody and Gene weather at a beer fest it makes it even better.
Those
They
are the
have
best.
so much beer, it's going to make science fun.
Yeah, exactly. Those are the best beer fests too. The ones that are like a little crisp.
Yeah.
You know, like I've been to many when beer fests were just rolling out back in like the early 2000s. I did a lot of beer fest in the parking lot of the movie theater in an area of Orlando called Waterford Lakes, and we would go out there, and me and a bunch of other 20-somethings would fry ourselves to death. You wanted to kill yourself. You hated it.
Yeah.
This is the better beer fest.
Also, here's a tip. Maybe have your wife and kids go to the actual science center and spend the day in there, and then you buy yourself a ticket to the beer fest, which is in the Lock Haven Park next
the
to the
science of beer,
and then hang out with us and drink some beer, and then when they're finished, then you could leave.
Like what a good commander would do. Like what a good commander would do.
Did you guys have fun playing with that thing where you make the oranges go into the thing?
Hey, you make an elephant toothpaste? You make an elephant toothpaste?
Does that big turtle still live at the bottom of the science center?
They're redoing all that.
Yeah, then you start arguing with your wife in the parking garage. Fuck you!
They need to bring back that the bee cage where the bees came inside.
Oh, yeah.
That's old science.
I've always wanted to see one of those go wrong. Because I've seen a lot of those people. I've seen a lot of you fucking influencer hipsters on there. You build you're like, today follow me on a journey as I build my beehive into my tiny house. And I'm like, oh, this is got to be good. So the guy built, and it's awesome, but I want to see it like in the middle of the night. It shatters. The
bees!
Yeah, and he's like, like he's, that's
bees take over the house, force him into the little cage.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to be at the Solar Bears game next Saturday, the 27th, and at a pre-tailgate hosted by Mo DeWitt.
Yes.
On Mo DeWitt's property, which is right across the street from the arena. And Bus Decker is going to be out there with free hot dogs. We got free White Claw and free Mo DeWitt beer.
I think Bus is grilling the hot dogs.
Yeah. So you want to come out, have some hot dogs, some White Claw and beer for free. Just come and we'll all be there hanging out.
Yeah.
And then we'll walk over to the game when it starts.
John Busdecker, the grilled pecker king.
The boy named John with the grill he the ring. I can't stand you telling no boy what you need. Kick a grill up a pecker that will make you want to squeeze.
There you go. He grill up a pecker, make it want to squeak. John Busdecker's grilled peckers. I was doing a whole never mind.
Is he a gas or charcoal guy, you reckon?
I think he's a charbroil man.
No shit.
I think he would drag out because there's one model that everybody knows. If you're listening to this right now and you're a man, women too, but mostly men, you know the model of charbroil I'm referencing, the smallest made charbroil. You had one. It was the one that set your house on fire. It's the smallest grill that charbroil makes. It's a tiny one, and it's the smallest they make that'll take a full-size big boy Blue Rhino.
Yeah.
Or the new one. There's a new one that's up against Blue Rhino, and it's got a better mascot. It's like Ultra Flame, and it's like a little match. It's like a match, like hang loose match. He's like, "What's up? I'm Ultra Flame."
It did cause a blowtorch coming straight from the Blue Rhino propane tank, blasting the side of my house, and then the flames were hitting the soffit. It melted the phone box off the side. It was just a black, like rubber, burn mark.
Just a big black stain.
Anyway,
but that's what he'll have. He'll have a char grill out there, and he says he likes ballpark franks. I'll believe it when I see it, because those are expensive.
Let's get some kosher, Busdecker.
You could get some like hand ground. 1010 makes their own dogs.
Get that big pack of Nathans for cheap.
why don't we hit up Jason from Primrose?
Oh!
You know what I just thought of?
God, I love that hot dog.
That was the first and only time I used a fire extinguisher that worked.
Holy crap.
I got it out of my jet ski. I ran over and then I sprayed it, and then it turned and then it was just gas shooting out.
Wow.
But
thank you for your service, because I'm gonna lay something on you.
Have you ever?
I have never discharged a fire extinguisher.
Multiple times, always because my wife was cooking.
on your stove?
No shit.
Multiple times?
The first time was like we'd been going out maybe like, I don't know, we just moved in together. I'll put it that way. So we've been going out for a little while, and she was making some nachos. And she
How do
decided,
you burn nachos?
Well, Dan, let me tell you. She decided to throw the chips under the broiler for a second to like crisp them up a little bit.
That's a pro move.
Yeah, unless you fucking walk away and forget about them and catch my fucking oven on fire.
Okay. Yeah.
So was the oven?
Was there a big plate of nachos?
Was it flaming?
Yeah, it was like in fuego, and I had to go get the extinguisher and extinguish it. It was yeah.
And when you blew it inside of there, did it blow ash and everything?
Does it ruin the oven, or do you clean it?
think we were renting it at the time, so I think we just cleaned it out real good and just went about our day.
Yeah. I think I would do that too. But like, if I'm at home and Andrea's making something, and we cook a lot. Like, I think on the show, I'm the cooking house. Because, like, even May likes to cook. We cook crazy all the time. Like, cook. Like, never going out. And Andrea's, I never get anything ordered, ever. Never get anything ordered. Never get anything. I tried to get food delivered last night. No.
So
cheap.
So cut to
effing cheap.
Cut to my kitchen last night. This just happened last night. We got a notice in the mail. We got these little things called the Blend Jet. You ever heard of this little guy?
A Blend Jet it's a great product, right? It's a blender type thing, right?
We loved it. We had the Blend Jet 2, but we got a notice in the mail. We got them from Costco, and Costco let us know that they're being recalled because the little fuckers can blow up, basically.
Really?
That's kind of scary.
It's a little base with a battery and a little spinner, like a standard blender, Tom, and then it's just a little plastic piece you screw onto the top and a little lid.
Like a NutriBullet.
So basically all but like 5 cents of plastic is being recalled from this thing.
But wireless. We're keeping my...
Okay.
Yeah. It's pretty cool that it's... that
They're great.
It. Yeah.
We use it all the time for smoothies. My kid uses it to blend up his like protein drinks and stuff. And but we got this notice, and it says stop using immediately, like discontinue use.
I like those.
It's fine.
And you know what? I always keep using them.
So I got them out, and I got the little recall notice, and I put them on the counter, and I told everybody, I was like, hey, listen, I'm either going to call the number and get the replacements, or it says you can take them to go back to Costco and just get a refund. I'm going to do one of those two things. Just don't use them. My wife picks it up and starts to fucking use it to mix up some powder. And I'm like,
that's what I like.
I'm like, honey, I just got done telling you, like, this thing can catch on fire, it can explode. And she goes, the fire extinguisher is right there. If it catches on fire,
hold on, that's what Tom would say.
She goes, if it catches on fire, grab the fire extinguisher, put out the fire, asshole. And it took me saying to her, well, it also says later in the letter, it can blow up and the little blades can come out and cause lacerations to your face.
Holy crap.
And the word lacerations is what got her. She's like, I don't want lacerations.
I'm going to blow out and shoot the spinning.
Imagine it's like spinning at blender speed and then it just goes. That shit's flying.
I've thought about that. I just bought a new blender, and this ties in perfectly. I just bought a new blender, and I had to lobby with Andrea because Maisie eats so many damn smoothies to get a nice one. I bought a Vitamix.
Yeah, it's worth it.
And we've used the thing since the day I got it. No exaggeration. I think I've made 60 smoothies, and I've only had it like a week and a half or 2 weeks. It's the second most used kitchen appliance I have behind the Food Saver for sealing up stuff. But can that thing... Because the RPMs on the Vitamix are insane. Like when it goes into clean mode, it goes... And then it just goes, yeah. It's like Busta Rhymes, yeah. And it just goes for like a full minute. You can't talk. You cannot talk to anybody next to you. It's the loudest thing in the world. And then you put a little squirt of Dawn and water in there. Then when you dump it, it's perfectly clean because it obliterated everything in there.
Yeah.
But can that thing break? Because I remember, guys, I wanted a glass blender. Well, Vitamix doesn't make a glass blender. It's plastic only. Because I think their mechanisms are so fast that glass is too brittle.
Yeah. And then I'm sure, too...
Can that thing shoot off into my neck?
Mm-hmm.
Well, Ross's cheaper one can. Whatever. Your $500 one is probably good.
And guess what? We got a really expensive washing machine with a glass lid. And I don't know, about 3 months after we got that thing, the recall notice came and said, this glass lid may shatter, explode.
Your lid, we don't know if you know this, but that lid might be made of glass, which is a brittle material that can shatter.
So speaking of things going wrong, Daniel told me, and Ross didn't know about this.
I don't even know what I told you.
About the Japanese moon landing. So right now, as we speak...
Is this an Uncle Randy joke?
Hey, you hear about that? Hey, hold on. You deserve this for that. There you go. You get one of those. You get one of those for that. That's fair.
You. All right.
That's only fair.
Excellent.
You can save that for any time you want to use it.
The capsule sideways.
Oh, my God. You know what? The follow-up was okay. It was all right.
I thought it was going to be about how they snuck up there.
So...
they're going live. They're talking.
They're talking. What happened?
Hold on a second. Hold on.
I thought it went wrong. Or maybe they're trying to talk about it.
Hold on a second.
A live press
conference. Look at this. Hold on, look what I did. Ross morphs into an Asian woman. Watch this. Watch this. Ready?
So, okay.
Let's see what they're saying here.
Is this dubbed?
No.
Because we're not going to understand it.
JAXA 理事 宇宙科学研究所所長国中仁でございます。
Okay, this is the we're going live Japanese moon landing.
So let me explain real quick.
Please,
so
please.
Apparently, I guess the National Japanese Aerospace,
Sure.
What,
that
what is it called?
It's
Japanese NASA.
JASA. Let's call it JASA.
So Japanese NASA partnered with, and this is the cool part of the story.
This is the cool part.
With the company Tomy, is it?
Yeah, Tomy that makes
Transformer toys.
That make all of the Transformer toys.
And I will just interject, Citizen Watches were also involved with this, and there's a bunch of super titanium in this thing, too.
No, okay.
Oh,
just like on my wrist, yeah.
Yeah, we figured you would know since it's space related, but yeah, they wanted to make a robot on this particular moon landing that would be small and compact and be able to like take up a very small amount of space, but still be able to turn into something that would be valuable and have worth for the mission, right?
Yeah, and so they partnered with Tomy and they developed this robot that the actual the mission's going to carry, and it was been in lunar orbit for a while and landed this morning, and they're going to deploy this robot, which is a ball. It's like what was that remote control?
BB-8.
BB-8. It looks like kind of like a BB-8.
It does look like a BB-8.
But just the ball part, and then it basically releases the ball, and then it'll roam around the moon for a while, and then we're going to get a live feed of the moon. But then it landed, and then no one heard anything, and then they had this, the screen on that says "We'll be back in a while," which was funny to me because it was in Japanese.
I didn't get to see that.
And then instead of like "We'll be back in a minute" or "We'll be back," in a second, I think that's American. Like the Japanese are like "We'll be back in a while."
I'm surprised they didn't know. Like, we will be back in 1.6 a minute. I would like it if it were like,
no, exactly,
like
So, but I don't know what's happening now, but apparently they're now having a press conference about it, but we're not seeing any video from the moon.
This is actually an unrelated Godzilla press conference. I think you guys just have the wrong station.
Oh, I found the English. There's an English version that you can go to.
Okay.
Let me see if
response and further requests.
Oh, they got Casey Kasem to do the. And this request comes from a little Japanese guy in the middle of Kyoto. He wants me to play a song about his dead dog. His dog died when he was walking across the subway system in a very populated area of Kyoto.
I guess let's say I may have experienced, because I have no idea. Talk to me, Tom. You're technical, you're digital. What might an alien sex probing procedure, what's the mechanism of that? What might
this is not the translation of this press conference. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. This is...
I was like, what the hell is going on? That's what the fuck is the old man? Is that David Lee Roth?
David Lee Roth
talking about aliens.
I wanted to see if you pick up on David Lee Roth.
I was like, why would they get this guy to translate?
And now to translate for JASA is David Lee Roth. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Diamond Dave. Oh my God! But yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing happening.
We'll check back in at the end of the show.
We will check back in. Let me put the cameras back on.
They'll be showing the live feed of the moon, which is.
God.
I heard they couldn't get it to drive 55. Was the real problem.
It's gonna be unimpressive, right? Because we've seen the moon. We know what we're gonna see. It's gonna be a bunch of white and gray sand,
unless they find something. Unless there's something cool, because like you could land a probe in the middle of the Sahara Desert and be like, oh, Earth just sand everywhere, like.
But they're not. There's nothing cool out there, Ross.
Yeah, but Tom, you forget the moon is essentially a big chunk of Earth.
Yeah.
So if you do the math on it, everything that is part of the Earth is part of the moon too. There could be like a big chunk of gold up there. It could find a big uranium deposit. It could find something.
Yeah.
That probably like 10 feet down is just what they call the regolith, that dusty crap on the outside. But this little probe could roll around and find something neat.
And that is what they're looking for, right? Resources, I believe. Like when I read the article, it was
a reason to go to the fucking moon.
it was more about like, hey, we want to roll around on there to see if there are resources.
Hold on.
And they're going to take...
Could there be a lunar gold rush? Like if this probe finds some mega deposit of gold and all the way, but do they own it now because they found it?
No, it's controlled by governments, isn't it? Aren't there rules about that now?
Oh, that'll go all out the window once they find something they want.
Yeah, you're right.
Probably not gold, because I don't see that it would make sense to like bring gold back from the moon.
That's a great
necessarily,
question,
but like if they find something they want up there, first of all, it'll be every man for himself.
Well, in 2025, this is the first one. In 2025, they're supposed to go back to the moon with the same sort of probe and then sample for lunar water. That's what the next version of this will be, supposedly.
Well, isn't gold used in a lot of electronic components? And
it is.
And essentially, what if you found a bunch of lithium? Because I know lithium, although it's...
What about helium?
It's less...
We're almost out of that. You find helium, clowns will be so... Yeah! They found it! We're clowns will forever, motherfucker!
The thing about it, though, Tom, is that even, like, say gold, say platinum, something real valuable.
Diamonds or something or whatever.
Diamonds are bullshit. But, yeah, let's say something like gold that does have...
I look at my ring and I'm sad.
It has industrial use. It does have, like, a fungible quality that we use... as money, so let's say they found gold, it's still way easier to get earth gold.
At
this point, until it becomes like financially feasible to do that, they're not going to go up there for fucking gold.
We can't get it back here unless you can devise a certain way to launch it back and have it just crash into the ocean.
We could
and go
do
get
it. It just wouldn't be economically feasible. It would cost so much more than to just go to like South Africa and make a bunch of poor people get it out of it.
I was a middle-aged man in 2021 when I realized that I really hate the word fungible. Because when all the, everything was non-fungible and fungible this and fungible that, and I don't even know what it means, and I'm not looking it up, but I hate it.
It means you can exchange it for Funyuns.
I love Funyuns.
Medium you can exchange
I love Funyuns.
So speaking of robots, Daniel told me about
He's a robot?
I am a robot.
He told me about this robot that takes care of your dog, that he is dead set on buying.
Oh, I'm buying this robot.
Why have a fucking dog?
Okay, well,
that's what I'm saying.
Now, you would think I would hate this, but I love it because it's Daniel, show Ross.
Ross, here it is.
It's ridiculous.
Okay, it's called the Oro, and see him down there? And it's this little robot. Well, it's not actually little. It's about 50 pounds.
It's the size of like a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah, it's like the size of a standard vacuum cleaner. And what you do is for your dog, it's like... It's bottom heavy, but apparently this particular robot will follow your pet around and monitor it to see if it's like behaving. It will throw a ball for your dog. It'll water your dog. It'll feed your dog. It can take your dog out in some cases, like if you live in an area, like if you need
like a patio or something.
If you have like a patio to let your dog out to go potty, it'll do that. It'll notify you if the dog shits or pisses in the house. It'll use its camera. It'll use its pad to its iPad technology to take pictures of you and the dog interacting.
Oh, I'm sure you could turn it on and then go over to your dog and your face will be on the robot.
Yeah, here's some video of it. Here it is interacting with a Bichon Frise. Here it is feeding a dog. It's feeding the dogs. It comes over and it gives them the food, and then it's it shoots treats. Like if the dog does something good, it'll be like, good job. It'll shoot a fucking treat at the dog. It's the best.
Here's why I like it though, and I didn't tell Daniel this, is because once Daniel gets this robot, the Dansby will like the robot more than Daniel.
He probably will. Yeah, right. I know.
Because
it'll start feeding it.
Because
it'll become its parent.
The dog doesn't know that robot's not alive, right? It just knows that it's giving it food, attention, is playing with it all the time. It's going to eventually like the robot better than you.
Well, that is one of the questions they put in the FAQs. There's
will my dog love this robot more than me?
I'll find it.
Okay.
I'll find it. It's pretty funny.
Well, they're not going to say that because they want to sell these damn things. And
no, it is pretty funny what they say, because one of the things is will my dog be afraid of it? And it's heck no.
It looks like a fucking vacuum cleaner. It looks like the dog's worst enemy, and it follows the dog around. You're going to drive my dog fucking insane.
No, apparently.
Shaking in the corner and it's just shooting treats.
Okay, so it has...
with a bunch of
it has a treat dispenser, food compartment, dispensing blade, food bowl. So there's everything that comes with, right?
I do like the idea of you buying this and just torturing your dog all day long. You can't get away from it. It's trying to hide from it. It's
okay, here's frequently asked questions. Here we go. It says, Does it scare the pet? Absolutely not. Pets would be more than happy to snuggle up with Oro. With its charming looks and fun-loving personality, Oro is like the missing piece in a puzzle that pets never knew they were missing. Oro's adorable appearance and playful behavior are sure to attract the attention and affection of your furry friends. That sounds like bullshit.
It's absolutely bullshit because there's dogs out there that are like afraid of pillows. So
Yeah.
I guarantee you, I can find you. You give me an hour, I can find a dog that's afraid of this fucking robot. No problem.
Crystal
Most dogs are afraid of black people naturally. Like, a lot of them. A lot. I won't say most. A lot. A lot of them are.
Yeah. Well, they made the robot white.
like Dansby. This is a true story. Not Dansby. Isley. I have a lot of Lee names. Isley, the Dalmatian, was deathly afraid of SBK. True story. Would not even come up to him because he'd never seen anybody like him before.
Yeah. I think it's a way their vision. They're just, like, I don't know, whatever. I don't know.
You don't want to go that direction. I say, all right. That's right.
Well, my dog, you
don't want to come up with here's what I think.
I don't even know.
Here's the reason I think.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're gonna pretend that.
I don't know. Who are you?
Where am I?
My dog, we got her from a situation where somebody had thrown her out of a truck into somebody's yard. She just been like, for whatever reason, they just chucked her out of a truck.
You couldn't even stop. Yeah, like
I could not. You know what?
You gotta be driving. And then
there is a limited time on wings at Gators, and I was on my way.
And she's like kind of mellowed out in her later years now. But when she was a little puppy, she did not like bigger black people, like a big fat black guy. She'd bark her head off, and old gray-haired ladies. For whatever reason, like an old lady with gray hair, she would just go fucking nuts.
So she really hated crime.
So the robot taking care of your dog, right? I
don't really want it to take care of my dog. I'm just
entertaining your dog while you're gone.
Age, and since I am the oldest here, but I think Ross will more understand what I mean because he is sort of like this. I'm sort of at an age where I just don't give a fuck anymore. And I saw it, and I'm like, I want to buy a robot for my dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just want to, and then the fact that it does make people mad is almost makes me want to do it more.
Fucking Jetsons had one. Why not you?
It just, it's what a time to be alive, Like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here. If I can buy a robot that's going to shoot tennis balls for Dansby, why not?
Well, also, while you're gone, the dog is just laying around doing nothing, bored.
Oh, yeah.
So
Andrea doesn't take him down into her office, and I hate that. That's during his kennel time. He has some hours of kennel time, and I hate it because if it were up to me, I would hold him right now during the show. In my lap, like an old woman at choir. My mom used to take Maggie the dog to choir, and she'd sit there and sing Onward Christian Soldiers in the back. She was a soprano, and she'd be like, Onward Christian Soldiers, marching us on. That's how she'd sing, that's all old. That's my path. That's where I'm going. Old man. At church, probably not church, but something where I can just sit, dog in my lap, observing. Fedora.
Why don't we just cut out the middleman and get a robot dog?
I've wanted one.
Let's just get a dog that sits in the corner until you want it. You push a button on the remote, it comes over.
Arbo. Sony makes an Arbo that I've wanted for decades. I've wanted the Arbo since they discontinued it, I believe, in 2003.
It's not fluffy enough.
No, it's not.
It needs to be soft. And the robot dogs need to have fake long hair.
Like Pocket Pussy.
But they don't do that.
Pocket Pussy's got it right, but robot dogs, they got it wrong. There's no soft surfaces.
Yeah. They're like the goddamn Star Wars stormtroopers. So they're all smooth and
like
white.
Slick and white plastic.
Speaking of dogs, we'll end this segment with this. Daniel told me there was a Guinness Book
He's a dog?
World Record controversy over the world's oldest dog.
I figured you would like this one
okay.
Because I know that this show of any shows loves the Guinness Book of World Records. Tom has told me privately, am I allowed to share this?
Yeah.
That he has had a dream of holding a Guinness Book of World Record.
Who hasn't?
Right? Like,
what kid that attended a school book fair hasn't had a dream?
I think it transcends gender of everything. I think any kid growing up, if you've been to a book fair or if your grandparents had gifted you one of those hardbound Guinness Book of World Record picture books, especially the picture book ones.
Yeah.
The guy with the yellow fingernails that are 20 feet
That's
long.
the one everybody thinks they can do, too.
Yeah,
and it's harder than you think.
It's harder than you think.
Or the fat twins on the scooter.
What a chef's kiss. But Guinness, now, I just found this out yesterday. After I mean, doing this for decades, Guinness has suspended, and they will no longer do the world's oldest dog.
They're cutting back on a lot of them, actually.
Yeah, because following the death of Bobby, who was believed to be 31 years and 163 days old. I know, it just blew your teeth out, right?
31-year-old dog.
31-year-old dog, 31 years and 163 days old. Doubts about Bobby's age led to a wider scandal in the dog record-keeping world. So basically, Guinness has paused this because they can't get real That's good. They can't get real proof. They can't get a veterinarian. There's no way of really doing it. And the only way, according to this article...
Cut the dog up and count the rings.
No, I wish. They've discussed that. They've discussed, like, uncomfortable ways of aging the dog. Like, let's burn it, and then test the carbon. Or something. But no.
See how many presidents it remembers.
They're saying that, honestly, the only way would be to have record of it. And they don't have record of it.
Yeah, because you would have to make record of the dog's birth, hoping that it's going to become the next world's oldest dog.
Right.
And it's all random.
Right.
It's like some junkyard dog just ends up living because of some weird genes that it has. And so, it got the perfect cocktail, and then it lives, 30 years.
Its robot did a really good job taking care of it.
Exactly. You'd be super healthy. But, boy, this dog's so healthy because of the robot. Basically, what has happened, though, now, normally when a record is either they can't quantify it, they don't know, or, they're like, this doesn't look right, they'll take the award away, and then it goes to the person who has the second oldest dog, right? I mean, that's genuinely what they do. Unfortunately, in this case, the dog who would regain the title, his name is Spike, he's 23 years old, he was expected to regain the title. Guinness is saying, no. We're changing the whole dog department. We have to be more stringent on this. So basically, Guinness is saying, we can't re-award it to you because now we're pausing everything until we can find a way to actually do this so we have real, undeniable proof of the age of the dog. So, and that guy's bitching because he's like, well, you gave it to me before. You can't re-give it to me now. And they're saying, no. We're changing the way we do it. And he's like, well, it doesn't matter. It should deflect back to me. I still and they're like, nope, we're changing it. So now it's in limbo. It is paused. And your kids may never get to see another world's oldest dog.
Sometimes pets do live ridiculous. Cats will live over 25 years.
The fattest stuff.
And then
with the big hangy bellies from having kittens. I hate that.
I've seen a 19 or 20-year-old dog before.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you went there.
and it was in rough shape. It turned into a possum. It was like a...
When's the last time you saw Maggie?
It's been like a year. I think.
This week, this has been the roughest week with Maggie because Maggie has reached a point where her body is healthy, her skin is flawless, her fur. If you pull her to your nose and sniff her, she smells amazing. Just naturally, she keeps herself fit, but her eyes are conjunctive cloudy. Her eyes look like a white shake 'em up snowball for Christmas. Surrounded by green boogers. It's just horrible. And now she's reached a point where any motion or shadow that refracts in her eye, or any small movement or any thud that she feels in the house, she will let out an ear-piercing bark, so she never stops barking. So now she's just existing and barking now the end of her days will be standing and barking until she dies. That's it, with green, cloudy booger eyes.
Boy, there's a dog that could use a robot.
Yeah. I don't know what to do because she is...
Keep it going.
Her body is healthy. She runs up the stairs. She can jump. She can leap. Mm-hmm. Her eyes are non-existent. She cannot hear. Her teeth are George Washington Brown little browners, tiny little George, tiny little brown George Woodens. Like little, and when she barks, she lets out a blast of vile blast of air.
Oh yeah. Does she have fishies?
Fish breath? Fish. It's beyond fish. It's chum. It's straight chum.
Yeah, dog breath is bad enough, but rotten tooth dog breath is like the worst.
And there's nothing you can do. And her teeth are so rotten that when you put your hand in her mouth, you can feel them moving around like puzzle pieces. You know, like they're not all they're seated, but at any moment, if you slap their face, they go flying out.
Dude, what if she is the next world's oldest dog?
She could be.
You could take.
Dude,
what
she's
was the dog's
17
name?
as she sits.
Yeah,
Spike is 23. I can do that on standing on my head, Spike.
Yeah. All you need, another 17 years.
I think I can hit 23 with Mag. 100% I can hit 23.
Yeah.
I'm going to lose my wife. I will lose my wife.
Just carry her around. You can bring her here. We'll feed
She
like the
doesn't
lizard.
she loves my wife. She only loves Andrea.
I think this makes Guinness Book of World Records suffer though, because it's going to reach a situation because you're going to have to now you're going to have like, your dog born at a vet's office with like video playing at a time like you're holding up the day's newspaper in the video and then
no, that's what they were doing.
So
did you read the article? That is Ross is not making a joke. Up until this point, Guinness was just having you take a photo with your dog with a USA Today. Seriously. And then somebody in their department said, guys, I think we've been scammed for years. We might want to dial this down. That's what happened.
But so now it's going to reach a situation where the world's actual oldest dog will not be able to claim the title because it's not documented. And some other fucking loser dog that just was born in a vet's office, probably 10 years younger, is going to be traipsing about with the title tied to its tail.
He's not wrong.
All right, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
And real quick, before we do that, let's go back to Japan NASA real quick. Did you guys know we lost a moon rover too this week?
Oh, really?
I didn't know that.
We just I think it was like last Monday they launched one from Cape Canaveral that was going to be like it was going to go up and land on the moon and do some like pre stuff for our guys who are going up in 2025 or whatever. And something went wrong with it failed in some way, and so they crashed it back into the planet. They brought it back to Earth and crashed it into the Earth to get rid of it.
Really?
And the one part that was neat about it, I don't have a story on this. I just read it the other day. It had, I'm not sure who all, but it had some of the cast of Star Trek's ashes on it. They were gonna land like
double cremated.
They were gonna land like Scotty's ashes on the surface of the moon. He might still be alive. They were gonna land some of the guys' ashes on the surface of the moon and didn't make it. Had to crash it back into the Earth.
I read about this.
Yeah.
And you know who was like apparently the Navajo Nation was up in arms about them spreading ashes on the moon.
Really?
And it was like a big controversy.
Does the Navajo Nation own the moon?
No.
Oh my God, we stole the moon for the Indians?
It's like a sacred symbol in their religion or whatever. Then so they looked at it like they were like
desecrating
their a moon which they hold above, and then it's funny because NASA or whatever the organization that was doing this, they're like, we don't recognize their opinion as being valid. Some
nerds with some logic on it.
They're like, we don't look at that at all the same way, so we're just moving on to
we also don't believe your grandmother was a wolf. Bye-bye. A bunch of dickhead nerds that are like...
All due respect to the Navajo Nation, if like some flat earthers got together and were like, don't launch a rocket because the Earth is flat, like, yeah, shut the fuck up. It's now 2024.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right.
The moon is a rock in the sky. It's not a ghost that tells you stuff.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we got some news with Ross. We got some other stuff to talk about. We'll be.
It was all dog and Japan news.
Space dogs. The name of the band, if you want to call it that, is Jacob's Castle. This is Jacob. This is Bradley Knoll's son, Jacob Knoll. And
you told me he sounds exactly like his old man.
Yeah, listen to this first lick when he starts singing, and tell me if this does not remind you of. Well, you'll know exactly who it is. Just listen to this.
Ask your question, I am the suspect. Ask me if it happened again.
Oh my God, right?
Yeah.
Enjoy this. We'll be right back.
And I can hear you asking not to lie again.
Very simple things that you can do to your home to make it better. One of them is, like, what kind of water do you have in your house?
Yeah.
I know that the water that my family and I are consuming comes from Guardian Water Services, and we love those guys. They've been with us 10 years
Yep.
now. It's been like a long time. Great people, great company, and they do good work in the community, assisting charities like the Yellow Brick Road Foundation. It's just, it's great. But let's get back to water. How is your water?
Yeah. Are you tired of buying bottled water or filters to fill up all the time? Get an RO system like me and Daniel and Sam. We have one at the studio. It gives you pure RO water straight from...
Almost all of our friends have
Yeah.
them now because they've come to our house. You try it. You know, it's a little faucet separate than your normal, dishwashing faucet. I think Monjet has one. I think Tony Palmiotti has. Like, it's like the list goes on and on. Once you try it, and
It
you
tastes
have
better.
unlimited RO water.
It's bottled water
Yeah.
that you get unlimited from your own source.
Plus, they use Westinghouse, as a parent company. So if you get a full conditioning system, you're going with a brand that's been in business for a really long time.
Yeah, save your house from being repiped, which
Sure.
is super expensive. So just give them a call. They'll come out. They're super nice company, great people. GuardianWaterServices.com.
This would be perfect for you to freestyle, I feel like. It's slow. Tom Viant on the beat. Then they fades out into like people street fighting, so I have to get that out of here. Welcome back to A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom. The
Hadouken!
last mediocre time that we do, all freestyling.
Oh, I like that. Okay.
And you'll know when I start freestyling. You're like, well, this is it.
I won't even be here. I'll be dead by then. The show is how many years past me dying will the show go? And then you have AI Dan.
Oh,
the show.
I've already thought about this.
It's that dog robot.
Yeah, you just put the same size, same weight, same weight.
Yeah. I'll try for a minute, and we'll be losing advertisers,
we already are.
BDMs
Oh my God, we already
at a
are.
massive rate. But I'll be so stubborn that I won't quit. I'll be like, we can push past this fine. We're just gonna
How
shake it
are
out.
we doing with regaining Manscaped? Oh,
I don't know. No, it's fine.
Have we sent them all of our apologies? Did Tracy send the rap songs I made?
Yeah,
the
yeah,
AI
that-
rap songs.
yeah.
That took me literally no time to make.
We talked about that on the BDM show. You can listen if you want.
Listen to that.
Anyway,
Listen, if they don't want your people shaving their buttholes with their stuff, then that's their loss.
Yeah. I don't shave my butthole, and sometimes I think I should shave my butthole.
See, I would, but I'm afraid I would cut this fucking hemorrhoid right off the edge. dude.
I don't
come
even
on.
know. I like that. You know what? He's bearing a soul. I don't know where to shave. I don't know where to do any of that stuff. Like, do you do that over the toilet? Or do you do it in the shower?
Kitchen table.
well,
I like kitchen table. Patio.
it's
Balcony.
Yeah, take it outside.
Yeah.
It would be like
Breakfast nook.
Go do it in the backyard like a
Breakfast
haircut.
it's like cleaning the inside of your hat. Who cares?
I've never cleaned the inside of my hat.
Well, because, that's why. I mean,
Yeah.
no reason to shave your butthole if no one's going to see it.
I would clean my hat, but it's got this big hemorrhoid.
Hell, I love it. Okay.
All right.
I got comedy.
Let's do some Ross news.
All right. Do I hit the button?
Yeah.
We haven't done it in a minute, so let's do it.
Ross's piece of shit news.
Ross's news brought to you by Injured on the Go. Just call Mo. Just call Mo.com. Also,
go get a hot dog from him, bus sticker.
Yeah, go get a bus dogger.
yeah. That's at the Solar Bears game on January 27th. Also, Tots with Ross.
All right, you guys want to do news or explosion of the week? It's the same story either way. It's an update on the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency.
Yeah!
All right.
We got the right name. Thank you, Ross. Thank God we got that right. We were calling it JASA.
No, their little robot didn't blow up, guys. Relax. It landed. It did land. The problem is that its solar panels aren't working right now. So it has no. It landed, but it has no way of generating energy at this point. So it's just running off of batteries. And they're at this point, and if you're listening to this in the future when we live on the moon and shit, I'm really sorry, but right now they're trying to fix the batteries or trying to fix the solar panels on this little thing before the batteries run out, and it's just like a wad of metal on the moon.
Okay, all right.
Oh, no.
Well, can they turn on the camera so we can see while it's up there?
They are. It's in sleep mode right now. They're trying to keep it like
sleep mode.
I'm just saying they've shut off all non-essential stuff at this point to reduce the use on the batteries.
It's still a press conference. I'm not going to waste their time with it.
It landed. They're trying to fix the solar panels right now. And again, if you're in the future and we like live on the sun and shit, I'm so sorry.
Now, it is amazing that they could launch this rocket and then navigate it to the moon and navigate it into the orbit of the moon and then land it on the surface of the moon.
Not only landed on it's a soft landing. They ain't just rocketing this thing and slamming it into the moon's surface. Apparently, it has these little domes that are coated with metal mesh, like think chainmail. And for some reason, the chainmail, I'm just trying to use physics. I think the chainmail is what helps impact it, like spreads out the energy that will be created from rocketing into the moon, and then that way it makes it a soft landing.
I think this is where the Citizen Watch Company and Super Titanium come into play.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah.
Now,
all of that stuff's like wicked cool.
Yeah.
Every time they explain how hard this is to do and how
only
complicated...
4 people have done it, or 4 nations rather.
Yeah.
I think the former Soviet Union, we've done it. Somebody else.
India's got a rover up there now.
Yeah, somebody else. But soft landings are like, it's like you're trying to stick it. You know, it's like nobody does that.
But it does give fuel to the conspiracy theorists that think we never did this in the 60s.
Yeah, because there's no camera.
Also,
I'm not seeing another right now, but a bunch of Japanese guys up there that look really concerned.
But I would imagine the conspiracy theorists who don't believe we ever landed on the moon are leaning in and are like, you're telling me it's insanely hard to do this in 2023 and we did this in 1960? In the 60s.
Hold on a second. When we shot that Tesla into orbit and it had that stupid dummy in it, that was a perfect HD quality view. I watched that. We watched it right here. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was a car.
It looked fake.
It was just space trash. And we're like, that's real.
Yeah, I don't know. I have doubts about that video having been live personally, but
yeah,
I think that might have just
all
been
of it is like, man, I don't know.
Anyway, all right, Ross.
All right, now do you guys want to continue with news? We have news, or behind door number 2. I have this crazy piece of mail I got.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Crazy pieces of mail.
Let's go with crazy
You've been
mail.
hiding a surprise from us.
I just remembered I brought this. So this piece of mail, you can see I'm holding, 9 sheets of typing paper here.
Oh, yeah.
And
is this a manifesto?
Hold on, let's make an intro for Ross's crazy mail right now. Let's do it.
Tom's gonna freestyle.
No.
We'll get AI to do it.
Yeah,
okay.
So just put Ross McCoy's crazy mail.
I will do that right now. Ross.
Give you a custom intro to this bit. This is our new thing, Ross.
Okay. I like it.
Yeah, it's how all entertainment will be run one day.
Yeah,
where it's just on the fly, you're just getting AI to do everything for you. It's the beginning of the end.
All right. 4, 5, 6, 7.
Gotta get
12 seconds down.
Oh, we're done. Okay.
All right, here we go.
That was a really fast one. That was a really fast one.
Here we go.
Do you want the letter on 9 pages or 9 pages of love? Which one do you
your choice, Ross?
9 pages of love.
9 pages of love. Here we go.
Open your mailbox, what could it be? Letter from you now, bitch, just can't believe what I see. Try to read each word, try to understand, but your crazy thoughts are slipping right through my hands. 9 pages of love, you've gone too far. Pouring out your heart like a shooting star.
Okay, there we go. Pouring out your heart like a shooting
It
star.
didn't say Ross one time.
I put it in there. It picks and chooses. Let's see if it says.
I was waiting for the weekend to kick in.
Oh,
with
this
that.
one
That was like a fucking Ariana Grande mashup.
It was kind of. This one does say Ross.
Late at night in the corner of his room, Ross McCoy opened up his crazy mail. 9 whole pages written with a frantic hand, words that spun in circles, God, it looked like a sad.
There you go.
Wow.
9 pages of crazy. Welcome to 9 Pages of Crazy with your host, Ross McCoy.
All right, so you got this in the actual mail.
So I first encountered this, when we moved into our house, it was all like 60-year-old people on our street. It was all old, gray-haired, and now like it's been 20 years, so like they're all dead except for this one guy.
Oh, okay.
Who like he walks his F-22 up and down the street every day, and one day he flagged my wife down the street, and he's like, "Hey, look at this crazy piece of mail I got." And he's waving. He had gotten a copy of this letter, and he's like yelling at my wife about it, like telling her all the particulars, and she's like, guy, the neighbor down the street was telling me about the crazy piece of mail he got, and then we got it the next day, and so I was super excited.
I never get the crazy pieces of mail.
I don't even know if we get mail anymore.
Around here, apparently, on the fringe edges of Baldwin, you had the group of anti-Semites that were rolling through. We didn't get any of the Nazi, but apparently you were getting Nazi flyers. We didn't get any of them.
They'd like throw a bag of sand with some propaganda onto your driveway.
Yeah, we got that over here.
Yeah.
Oh, the BDM mailman that delivers my mail paid for his annual BDM membership again via check.
Oh, he always does it in
over
your
Christmas
mailbox.
break.
Yeah.
He left me a check. He's like, "This is for my BDM membership."
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's
all
the
right.
easiest way for us to do it that way. If you guys want to
not
just drive
joking.
by Tom's house and just put a check in the mailbox, it is way easier than anything digital we could do.
I am not joking. My mailman pays for his BDM membership with a check every year.
Oh, I know.
And it's awesome.
He has for like 10 years.
Go ahead.
Doesn't Trinity Tattoo just come by and tattoo you guys every once in a while? So we got this piece of mail, and so it's so crazy. And it's like a mass mailing of some sort, because like my neighbor got it and we got it, and it's addressed to us. It's addressed to my wife's name and my name, our address, coming out of Santa Ana, California for some reason, and it's got a PO return box on it. And like we'll get into like some of the crazy speech, but in particular, somebody. They there's that Publix near me right across the street. They built a bunch of condo units. Somebody moved into one of those condos that this guy who's mailing the letter out really hates. This guy. So it's titled "Know Your Neighbor" and 20-point font at the top.
Okay, so
ostensibly
Dan Dennis is a pedophile. He lives right near. Is it one of those?
How many pages does that take to say?
That's true. This sounds a bit more personal.
So yeah, it's to let us know that this guy has moved into the neighborhood and to let us know about his character. For example, and I'm quoting from the letter here. This crazy bastard kidnapped his mother, who was not in her right mind, while on her deathbed, dying of stage 4 cancer. At her most vulnerable point in life, Crazy Eddie was able to bamboozle her to get power of attorney over her. He kidnapped her until her death to avoid her only other living son and grandchildren from visiting her and talking sense into her. After the massive shit-talking campaign he tortured her with, he refused entry to her home and in the hospital, touting his POA and cut off all communication.
Crazy Eddie. This is awesome. Hold on, you get a second one. This is great.
So
this is fantastic.
A couple paragraphs later, he's stolen all this money from his mom.
Okay.
Now,
did she die?
Now, stage 4 cancer, Dan. Come on.
Oh man.
And it says he tortured her until her death. So that's
he tortured his own mom, Crazy Eddie.
After the massive shit talking campaign he tortured her with.
My mom has stage 4 cancer. She's a whore.
According to this letter.
Is that what you say?
Now he bought the Florida townhouse with ill-gotten gains and will try to pass himself off as a normal homeowner. He may appear normal for about 15 minutes.
I'm not normal.
But you will soon realize his deception, manipulation, and mental illness. This guy has bulging bug-out eyes, showing his mental illness and delusional paranoid traits. He also has a very violent history with neighbors, employers, co-workers, and random people he meets.
Like these?
Oh my God, it's Crazy Eddie!
Coming to get you, motherfucker!
Edward never had a girlfriend or guy friend in his entire life. His immediate family can't wait.
Hold on. That one you could have. See, I think Grammarly would have told me to take that out. Grammarly would have told me to take that out. That doesn't have anything to do with your argument. Take that out.
How does he know that? He's just the neighbor. He doesn't know this whole guy's life.
His immediate family can't wait to see him receive the wrath from God. He likes to act like a strong, tough guy, but got a beating from every street brawl he was in, and there were many. His last street brawl had Edward catching a roundhouse punch to his eye and detached his retina, broke his shoulder, and mangled his hands. He had to undergo numerous surgery. His family prays daily that someone will bash his other eye in.
Oh my God.
No, but it says his family prays daily that someone will bash his other eyeball in?
Edward never bought a birthday or Christmas gift for his only 2 nephews in his entire life. This guy's a pariah and scum of the earth. He changed the locks to his mother's
so they're
condo.
laying the foundation. This is a character assassination piece.
Just putting up a wall of how Eddie's a jerk. He refused to provide a hospital bed for his mother.
Well, she's dead.
He lost her dentures for weeks and refused to pay for replacement, even with her own money.
Crazy Eddie lost his mom's dentures.
I need your teeth. Fuck you.
Edward.
I do like the idea of a guy. Eddie, please, I need your teeth. Go fuck yourself, whore.
Placed her in a despicable nursing home with 3 people in a room. I'm skipping through the best parts now. Also, he also sent her to an all Vietnamese hospital instead of the hospital.
Well, that was just a prank. That was just that was Impractical Jokers. That was just they had Sal in his ear. He's like, okay. Put your mom in the Vietnamese nursing home. They'll love it.
So a bunch of other relatives show up, and the mother says, "Hey, I want to change my will so everybody gets something." Eddie doesn't do that. He calls the cops on them, and then he keeps them away until she dies. His 89-year-old father knocked on his door while he was living in his mommy's condo and called him on his cell phone, but Eddie refused to communicate with him, knowing he would face his wrath.
Of an 89-year-old man.
When he thought his father and brother were gone from the front door, he tried to escape from the garage. Almost ran his father off with a car trying to get away. And so now we get to here's I'm going to call it the wanted poster. So this is so if I'm
there's a illustration of Crazy Eddie.
Is that a drawing? Oh, I hope it's a drawing of the leprechaun. Y'all want to see a drawing of the leprechaun? Yeah!
I guess to help me out, if I bump into Eddie at the Publix or something, this is a visual identification to help me find him. Just this
is like when they hung Shannon Burke posters up all around the radio station. They're like, watch out.
Well, if they had a child make those posters on a photocopy machine, maybe.
All right.
And I'll just let you know, Edward, I'm not even going to say his last name or his address, both of which are on this sheet of paper for whatever reason. He will be 55 years old on February 19th. That's his birthday, everybody. He's 6 foot tall, 230 pounds. He's a narcissist, sociopath, elder abuser, douchebag, scumbag, plotted to steal his mother's assets since he was born.
Well, I mean, that's just, he's motivated. Like Macy's like that. Macy has been motivated to steal my riches. So she popped out of Andrea. I can feel it. Sometimes
this loser
you can feel
is
him right on your heel.
This loser is violent and mentally ill and a cocksucker.
Yeah.
His 89
wait a
year
minute. Okay.
His 89-year-old father disowned him at least 10 times. It just takes them once. His family prays for his slow, painful death. And then
come on.
The last thing on
you're
this,
gonna regret typing that.
and this is all around the picture to help you. These are things to help you discern him. And the last thing is the pic is about 7 years old. So he sent me a decade-old picture to fucking identify this guy.
Wait, I know that guy. Oh my god,
It's Tom's mailman.
Yeah, I think that guy's a founder.
He's got a Pussy Admiral shirt on.
He does have a Pussy Admiral shirt on.
Yeah, no.
He has spiked Jersey Shore hair.
Okay, and now, just when you guys are catching your breath, Know Your Neighbor Part 2.
Oh, it's a Part 2?
No. This is like when you get sent the encyclopedias and they're like, this took so long to make that there are things have changed, so we sent you we sent you the addendum to it.
Yeah, more shitting on AZ.
They're like, you know what? I could have been wrong.
What if it was that? What if it was like, you know what? Disregard the first one. He's a great neighbor.
It's a lot of most of the first page is about how he stole all his mother's money again, and then he goes, some other fun facts about Crazy Eddie, and this is not me again. This is the letter.
I liked when they did these in highlights, where it'd be like other fun facts about marsupials.
Some other fun facts about Crazy Eddie. He was handed gainful employment by his older brother, who showed nothing but generosity and compassion for him, since everyone in our immediate and extended family was painfully aware of Edward's lifelong mental illness. Edward got fired from the job that was handed to him because he deceived his immediate supervisor by clocking in and out for a week's pay, but never showed up for work. This put a stain on his older brother's reputation. On another occasion, Crazy Eddie walked into the corporate headquarters of his older brother's office, barefoot and shirtless,
with his ding-dong out,
and insulted his brother's boss to start trouble. He had to be removed by security guards and put another stain on his brother's reputation. I'm starting to realize this is Eddie's brother writing this letter.
Oh, damn. It is.
On another occasion.
God damn it, Ross.
On another occasion, his older brother and his friends treated Crazy Eddie on a trip to Las Vegas. Within minutes of arriving at the Tropicana Hotel, Edward was surrounded by 6 angry guests who wanted to kill them for mouthing off to him. Ultimately, his older brother mediated and stopped the mob from killing Crazy Eddie.
What a great guy.
And everyone was kicked out of the hotel in disgrace. On another occasion, Edward got kicked out of an all-you-can-eat Korean barbecue because he refused to stop eating after 4.5 hours straight.
Hold on, I like him again now. Should we try to interview this guy? Should we call him and bring him in and let him? I need to hear his side.
Here's what I'm.
Or should we send a letter from us to all of your neighbors, Ross, that shares the other side?
Here's what I'm building up to, Dan, is the fact that this letter, this is the last page of part 2. If there's a heaven and a hell, Crazy Eddie's family is confident he will burn in hell, as he should. Hell, all caps. But he does say, Crazy Eddie changed his phone number and made it anonymous to avoid having any future contact with his father, his older brother, or extended family. If you ever get a valid phone number for this clown or have something valuable shared that will make our family feel satisfaction, please feel free to text me, and it has his phone number. If you want to get in contact with the letter writer, I do have the letter writer's phone number.
I don't know. Do we want to tiptoe into the swamp? I think we do. Do we? I got to tell you.
It's up to you guys.
I originally want to, a younger Dan, 2013 Dan, 2014 Dan, sitting here. I'm drinking a Dos Equis. You come in. You were, you're high on pain pills because you were addicted then. Then we decide we call him. And he becomes our new best friend. And he starts working for the show.
So I could call him and ask if he wanted to go on the show, and based upon
then we make a villain of Eddie.
Based upon him writing this letter and sending it out to all of his neighbors,
and this wanted poster.
I like the poster,
and the fact that he's a direct relative to Crazy Eddie.
We don't know that for a fact, but just the way
Crazy Gary.
I maybe didn't get to page 7 and 8 before, but like 7 and 8 when he's just like talking about what a great guy the brother was. It's the brother.
Yeah. Is there anything good in there at all
about Crazy Eddie? Oh no!
So they just wanted to, but I mean, the purpose of this was
just to disparage his character to the direct neighbors all around. You know what?
You have to really make people mad.
Well, it's never occurred to me in my entire life to write all my neighbors' letters because I'm not crazy.
You're the wrong person. Ask me, because I'm petty. I'm petty as fuck.
Yeah, but
I would never do that. That's way too far. Like, I'm a normal level of jealous and petty, and I'm emotional and I'm passionate. But I think I have all the normal, maybe normal plus.
Because what is this going to do?
I don't know.
This is purely emotional. This just makes the letter.
I think it makes you look crazy.
It got my 89-year-old neighbor all riled up. I'll tell you that. Like, he was all riled up.
Well, 89. You feel for iron sharpens iron. If another 89er is out there getting taken advantage of, you stick up for him.
Yeah, but he is, back in the day, letters were serious. So he got a letter and then he believes it.
Well, he paid for a stamp.
But that's what made me think that this might be an older person. So that's why I didn't think not to not go along with what you're saying, because I think you're right. But letters that's an old man's game, isn't it?
But old man or crazy person? Crazy people like writing letters too.
Well, so Crazy Eddie's going to be 55 in February this year, then you figure his older brother's probably pushing 60 at least.
Yeah.
So yeah,
and he just going putting this much effort to just send out this crazy letter to everybody's neighbor that it could only result into all the neighbors. Like, do they give Crazy Eddie's exact address or something?
Yeah, gives his address, gives his birthday.
Yeah. Is this legal?
I don't think it is.
I don't think
maybe.
Your address and birthday is public information.
It is.
You can go online and look at it.
But I think there's some stuff and there's some language in there that might. If you started connecting, you said his address, you said this, and then
you're making claims against someone.
Yeah.
And Crazy Eddie's not a celebrity, so defamation. It is defamation.
Unless it's all true.
You're right.
Unless every single word of it is provably true, in which case he's just sent out a fucking letter.
That's why I kind of feel like for us, the correct play is to write a whole other letter fake of the good things that he's done and send that to all the same neighbors to see if we can balance it out.
And again, I live like 2 blocks from this, so this letter was sent to hundreds of people.
That's also a lot of money, though. It really is. I mean, the amount of time spent on this
I like it when you go to do something as a joke because we're all laughing or whatever. So we're like, let's send a letter, like seemingly from Crazy Eddie, defending himself to all Ross's neighbors. And then
with a coupon for a free Kelly's ice cream in it. That'll tip the balance. If we put a free scoop from Kelly's in there.
Well, there's a Twisty Treat right on the corner, so we can make a Twisty Treat.
Too,
it's walking distance.
And then Ross sees his old man neighbor, and his old man neighbor's all excited. He's like, I got a letter from Crazy Eddie. He's like, oh, this is fame. And then Ross is getting, and then all of a sudden, Crazy Eddie's brother hears about the letter, and then he's like, oh,
kill him.
No, and then he writes her, and then it goes back and forth, and we're laughing.
Then we print the whole thing as a book and become millionaires.
No, well, then they kill each other. And then we were like, then we hear, and then the cops show, and then Ross texts us. He's like, hey, I think Crazy Eddie and his brother killed each other in a duel. And then we're all like, oh, shit. It went too far. We caused the death of humans.
We are going through a little bit of that right now. We did it with Trash TV, your Richard Bays, your Sully, Jesse Raphael's, your what's his name, Jerry Springer's,
the daytime,
and you would have people that would go on there. The famous case of the guy that wasn't gay, and then
on Sally Jesse, right?
Yeah, on Sally Jesse ended up,
and his coworker had a crush on him, and then he killed that guy.
My point is, you're seeing that mirror that right now with influencers who are going out with their backpacks to stream on Twitch and YouTube, who are getting shot because people have had it. They don't want to be in Publix shopping for milk, and you come up and start doing your skit bit. And if you're in Florida or Georgia or any other places where it's a lot easier to carry a handgun, you're going to start seeing influencers just do a yuck 'em up and get their heads blown off.
Well, that just happened.
It's happening.
It just happened. There was a guy doing prank videos in a mall or something, and he walked up on this guy, and his prank was he just got up in people's face and wouldn't leave, and the guy's like, get out of my face, get out of my face. The guy wouldn't get out of his face. He fucking shot him.
Yeah.
And
then you're going to see people pull back. I think it's normally what happens, right? Because
now there's no stopping it because there's the value in the attention that all humans, or not all humans, but a lot of humans crave.
They do. And it's addicting.
Yeah, and so because of that, to the end of time, people will hold any sort of likes or attention or a viral video as even if there's no monetary value.
It's feathers in your adornment in your tribe, right? It's no different than the decoration that you wear to show your place within whatever organization you're trying to link in.
That motivation won't go away.
But what is starting to happen, and I think this is worse than Crazy Eddie and his brother dying in a duel in the street in front of my house, they're just starting to fake prank videos. Every video you watch is a fucking fake now. Nothing's real anymore, and it's getting just as many clicks as if it was a real video. How many?
If we're okay with that, then what are we living in? Right?
How many videos have you seen, and I'm just assuming we all have the same algorithm, where a guy walks up to a girl in a mall and is like, hey, I'm going to take you shopping or whatever, and it turns out she's an OnlyFans model. Fucking every video is that now. Every video is a guy walking up to an OnlyFans model and discovering she's working for OnlyFans. Well, she's wearing a fucking two-piece bikini in public. You didn't realize?
Listeners and everybody here, don't forget to sign up for Akeem Woods OnlyFans. I subscribe to myself.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. I subscribe. He might be flopping out his big ding dong. I don't know, but I support my friends.
So you haven't looked at it to see what the videos are?
No, because to unlock some of the posts, you got to pay. I don't feel comfortable doing that with the company credit card. Also, don't want my wife seeing that, maybe I'm like, oh, she's like, what is this charge for? Oh, Dan subscribed to Akeem's Big Black Dog. I don't necessarily need that in my life, but I support my friends.
The company can pay for it.
Okay. I'll unlock them right after the show. Then. I don't know if he's doing, I don't know if he's doing sexy stuff. I don't know if he's doing comedies. I don't know what he's doing.
He's doing.
But I support my friends.
Anyway, so it's interesting you brought this up because I was just reading an article about the algorithmic era that we live in now, and someone was writing about how it, there used to be gatekeepers to all media, right? You could only promote or be on the radio or the TV or whatever if you made your way way through the people
Traditional
that
ways,
would
yeah.
let you on there. You know,
Paid your dues.
the program directors or what they would deem it like, okay, you are worthy for this radio show, TV, or whatever. We're going to let you go. You know, we're going to write a story about you.
Sure.
The gatekeepers, right? Now
We've determined this is in some way entertaining.
Yes, exactly. And now there is no gatekeepers, which is good for some things, obviously, because before we were leaning on the subjectivity of all these gatekeepers.
I don't know. I've been a fan of a standardization bar, like making sure that I'm just not going to get flooded with a bunch of OnlyFans models.
Yeah, but how many
doing
times
fake prank videos
back in the day have we seen and heard of? I mean, it's the Howard Stern stuff. It's the program director saying what you're doing is not funny, and then Howard Stern saying, "What are you talking about? My audience loves it." And then the program director is like, "I know what's funny," and then they're wrong, you know.
But I'm going to say that's the outlier. Like 99% of the shit that they didn't allow on the air was awful.
You're
right.
So anyway, so now we obviously don't have that anymore with the internet, and they're calling it algorithmic era.
I like that.
But the problem is because of algorithms, and it didn't start off like this, but TikTok and all the social media companies are now, they're just showing everybody what they want to see, right? And that algorithm is composed of what the most popular thing and video is, based and what your interests are, but it's always the most popular. But the problem is with the most popular, then now you're talking about what is the most popular with all of humanity, right? And then that will bring the IQ level down to a mean that is lower than maybe what you would be exposed to or what you would expose yourself to normally, right?
Yeah.
So then it's basically, it's the dumbing down of everything. And so now you're a bunch of nonsense content that we're scrolling through, and it's essentially we're not being exposed to anything that makes us think, or that, because thinking is hard.
Yeah.
So it's just
This explains exactly why we're about to vote Trump or Biden again.
We're in an era of where, of course, we don't want to think that, it burns a bunch of calories. It's hard. It's just like exercise is hard or anything.
Decision fatigue is a real thing.
Yeah.
You can run out of that.
Yeah.
It's the magic that keeps your days good or bad.
And sometimes you should be exposed to someone else's they're like, this is good quality, high, art that is, you have to think about, that maybe you're not going to like it at first, but maybe you should, study it a little bit. And it's harder to look at instead of some nonsense fake videos of, I sent Daniel one the other day and I'm like, what is this? And it was a Facebook video, and it was like, look at this waiter did. And it's obviously fake, like so fake. Like
First of all, there's a camera there.
Yeah, no, there's a camera.
That's always the first tell.
And you're like all well lit, and then it shows this kid, like they're trying to show a homeless kid, and they put a big dirty sweater on him, and he's sitting there, and then someone gets up from their meal, and then the homeless kid runs over and tries to eat the leftovers of the person, and then the waiter at first comes over. He's like a good-looking Russian model, and then he comes.
What are you doing?
There's no words to it. And so he takes the plate away. So at first you're like, oh, what a dickhead waiter. But then it reveals that he goes and gets a new plate of food that's brand new, and he gives it to him.
Good looking and generous.
And then I'm like, what is this? I'm like, what is this promoting? And then there's
I start my day with Russian homeless model video.
There's 8,000 comments, and then as you scroll through the comments, they're all bots.
Yeah.
They're all fake comments like, this is great, and they're all like GIFs of something like happy rainbows and things like that. And I'm like, all the comments are fake. This video is fake. I don't even know what it's promoting. And then it just exists in the internet, and it's a nothing. And looking at it made me dumber. And it's making us all dumber, right?
Yes. And the comments thing you touched on is my new personal pet peeve, where if the video is designed to make you say one comment, basically. I don't know, the video is like, why did the chicken cross the road? And then you are supposed to comment something, and then it's just the same comment over and over again, and all it is to boost visibility.
Yeah, and then so that is what the article is saying is wrong with the algorithm, is that the algorithm pushes most comments, most popular.
How do you fight that?
And I guess
how do you disrupt that in a way?
You would
read a book.
You would
right. Well, go outside. Jesus Christ, get naked and lay on the grass. mask,
Yeah.
completely naked, and feel that on your
Yeah.
body.
But that's the problem with free choice, right? It's like we all are like, it's like you can go out but society hasn't adapted to it yet. Like you can go out and just eat as much candy as you want at the store, right? You can go and buy an insane.
Which store is this?
Like you can just buy
UnlimitedCandy.com. You'll love it. It's so good. And it's free.
You can go out and eat like pure shit. Like you're like, I want candy. You just eat candy. You're eating.
I did that, but I did that
And
as
you
soon
can-
as I got a job and was an adult, and I had a car of my own. That is what I did. I was like, I'm going to eat Taco Bell for every meal.
Right.
Yeah, and so you like, of course, that's available to you. It's your choice, but there's repercussions. The problem is, I don't think we can see, the repercussions that we all realize. Like you get fat, it makes you feel bad eventually. But the brain repercussions
You get a
of
fat brain, big fat brain.
well, we haven't really seen yet,
And you don't even really have a choice. It's you can pick an apple or the candy if you want to. This is just being shoved at you.
Yeah.
You just have to take whatever it
In
gives
order
you.
to not,
And I'm addicted. I'm looking at it. I'm like,
and also you're addicted to it.
yeah, you would have to not have the could you?
I feel it calling me.
Could you take Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all of that off your phone and just continue on?
I mean, just like you have to
Or
cold
would
turkey
you find
quit shit.
yourself being like, oh shit?
I did it like a couple years when I stopped working with you guys. I got off of all social media.
Oh, right on.
For like a year and a half, but I did get on Reddit instead. I just and I called it.
I like Reddit.
I called it Facebook methadone at the time. I was like, this is like the same feeling, but it's not connected to like people I know and am engaged with. Like I'm still scrolling through and looking at all foibles and like weird shit, but like it's totally disconnected from my actual life.
Yeah.
And at least with Reddit, real humans are having some conversations that could be interesting.
It's good and bad. I have found some good places on there that are very nice with kind people. There are some very dark places.
Dude, it all depends on the moderator. Like the moderators on Reddit are either like the worst fucking human beings imaginable, or like they don't give a shit, and you want to lean towards they don't give a shit.
And-
that's when you can have fun.
And I'm making the analogy towards sugar, but does it have a bad effect like sugar does, or maybe the effect is not as bad as eating a bunch of sugar to our human brains? Like maybe our human brains, like yes, at the time it is maybe, but it's not going to have some long term effects.
Right.
Like
It's not like poisoning it.
yeah.
permanently.
Or is it?
Yeah,
I
and that's
have
just
no-
not
we
physically
don't know.
visible to us. It's making brain belly, but that's just something inside your head that you
I
can't
mean, you
see.
are making a compelling argument for something I've never heard of, but I can definitely, it does seem feasible to me that if you exercise this through a series, because it's electricity up there, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're exercising it or not exercising it, and how you exercise it would matter. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say that when you are digesting something or using, quote, processes to use your brain, that's way different than when you're just one-way street shooting chemicals. And I bet you it's way different. I bet you it is.
But it also does matter what the content is, because like on my TikTok algorithm, I get a lot of like mini interviews and podcasts, and then there's a lot of Neil deGrasse Tyson and a lot of science and like interesting facts and interesting photos from around the world. And there's some war music, and you're scrolling.
My
and they're
shit
like-
is 100% kiss or slap.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
So if I'm consuming,
Mine is all West Highland Terriers. It literally is. It is all West Highland Terriers, and then for some reason, min pins. Little miniature pincers have it they're in my algorithm. So I'm getting a lot of min pins, which I'm kind of digging the min pins.
All right.
Little tiny jumpable breakable dogs.
let's take a break. When we come back, we've got a couple more things on the list. We'll talk to Ross some more.
I got more news if you want.
Yeah.
The Crazy Letter took up all the news, but I got more.
The name of the band is who is this?
I wonder, do letters work better now?
Yes,
because
they're scarier. It's scarier.
Do people will read them if they get something beyond the junk mail and the random bills or credit card bills that you get every day?
And this is custom. I mean, this is fully custom.
And it only costs you 50 cents per household, which does add up.
That's a lot of money if you spend hundreds of them. Dude. We've tried to do mailers with our listeners, and it's expensive.
We can't even send all the BDMs something in the mail because of the cost.
Yeah.
It would, just from the 50 cents, or even you get discounted group rates that they get it down to 40 cents. Still too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if Crazy Eddie's been bothering you your whole life, it's a small price to pay.
Yeah.
The name of the band is The Problem with Kids Today. The name of the song is Speed Freak. Old School Rock and Roll. We'll be right back with more A Mediocre Time with Tom and Dan. 1-844-TOMNDAN if you'd like to call us, because we're just hanging out for a Friday.
I personally use Secured Roofing and Solar to put a new roof on my house.
Your house looks awesome.
And they did a great job. I know Mo DeWitt used Secured Roofing and Solar for his roof.
I believe our buddy Christine used Secured too. We've had a bunch of people that have used Secured, and if you're interested or if you need a new roof or maybe you have some roofing damage, they're a great company to call. Also, if you're interested in solar, I know that that's a big thing right now.
Oh, yeah.
They do that as well, and maybe you can do both at the same time.
Yeah, so any storms or damage, they'll come out there for free and inspect your roof to see if it has damage or not. They'll work with your insurance companies, so they make the process super easy. Here's their number, 407-584-4445. It's securedroofingandsolar.com.
I mean, technically, you could have freestyled to this one, too, if you wanted to. I tried to find something that I thought you might vibe to today, That's a great tune. That is Huron John. The album is Indigo Jack and the New World Border. The name of the song is Advertisements. Welcome back to the show.
Real quick, thedangerbrain.com is our branding agency we've been using for years.
Yeah, man.
Since we started the show, basically, a year into the show, I think. So it's been 14 years.
14 years.
And they're doing branding for us for the next BDM Appreciation Week and the cruise and some other projects.
Yeah.
And if you're a company...
And for some projects you'll never see, like Tom and Dan's Swingers Club. You don't even know what that is.
It will eventually happen once we find the venue. Anyway, so if you're looking for branding in any way, or if you're a company looking to rebrand, I know they've done rebrands for a lot of companies we've worked with.
The American Air, they did Bart Martine.
Yeah, Guardian Water, and a lot of different companies, and they do a great job. TheDangerBrain.com.
And Tom and Dan's been working for them advertising for 14 years. Fuck you, Manscaped.
No. What do we do?
No.
We're not sending them the links anymore.
Well, you never would send them a Danger Brain read. That would never happen.
Yeah, that's true.
That's 100% our fault.
But Tracy, do send them me saying fuck you. Just send them that.
So what do you guys want to do? We got a couple more things we could talk about, or we could play some voicemails.
You want to do a little bit of both?
Well, yeah, let's start with Daniel's nighttime audio that you've been listening to, because I need something that will put me asleep.
Yeah.
So Daniel was telling me about he listens to some person describe like phenomenons in nature. Like
no. It's okay. They're called. I'm gonna have to log in here, and I was logged in, but basically you go into, and I use a company called Headspace. And it's just a meditative app. There's a bunch of other ones out there. One's called something timer. I can't remember the name of it. But it is a
Crazy Eddie timer.
But it is it's just an app where they have different sounds and different people that will guide you through a meditation. And this particular one that I'm doing in Headspace, they'll find a famous area, and I was telling both Ross and Tom, they'll do one at Zion. They'll do one at the Grand Canyon. They'll do one at, different,
national parks,
state parks and stuff like that. And they kind of describe the area while you're going through an exercise. And it works really, really good. It works really, really well. I have to log in. They're making me log in again.
Okay.
Dan, you're telling me about this, and I'm very interested because I've been having a hard time sleeping lately. And I remember when I was a kid, Tom, did you ever do this in Miami where you would go steal shit out of cars at night?
I never got to the stealing out of the cars.
Okay, I used to steal shit out of cars at night. Sorry if I were stole, for example, a driving and crying tape out of your car. I apologize. But one of the things I ended up with was this. It was like back in the 90s, self-hypnosis tapes were really popular.
Yeah, those were huge.
And
My mom got those. She had Zig Ziglar. She had Dr. Wayne Dyer.
I might have stolen this out of her car.
Yeah.
You stole some
I stole
hypnosis tapes out of someone's car.
It was a subliminal weight loss tape, and so it was just like it was Anya basically. You know, Anya would come up like some like mood music, and then there would be subliminal like stop eating chips. You know, like it was like below your oral level. Like don't you crave pizza no more. You know, shit like that.
No more pizza for you.
But obviously I stayed fat, but that tape would put me to sleep like that, dude. It was instant sleep.
Is it a form of ASMR, kind of?
This one is kind of like that. And what I like about this one, though, is like when you have both the the ability to hear the sounds of nature. Like now, Andrea hates the nature sounds. She absolutely hates it.
Okay.
Like she thinks it's like if she hears like a bird, like if we're listening to like brown noise or like forest noise, and she hears like.
Oh, she
like,
hates
what the fuck is that? You know, like she
get mad at the birds.
Oh, she hates it. She hates it because, like, a lot of people. I don't know about you guys. I can't get the damn thing to work. Of course, when I want to show it to you guys, I can't get the damn thing to work. But they're called wind downs. I can see it.
Okay,
they're Headspace wind downs. The coolest piece of technology that they added is the ability to mix the voiceover, so you can add as much nature or as much voiceover as you need. So if you want less of the lady or guy, you can add in a little more birds or leaves, you know. But I have found that, and they're 45 minutes long. So they start by introducing where they're at, what they're going to do. That's like 5 minutes. At the 5-minute mark, they walk you through a breathing exercise. Very simple. Like take 3 big breaths. You know, in for 4, hold for 5, out for 6. You know, like something like that.
Yeah.
And then you get that. I always do the breathing. Is it corny? The answer is yes. It is totally corny, but just fucking do it.
There's nothing corny about that.
How does a lady describe? You said that like she was describing an arch in Moab.
Yeah, so she's
delicate
like,
arch.
Yeah, she's like, here we are, a delicate arch. As you look up, you can see the sun casting and just about to go down behind the arch. You look at the rocks around you. You look at some of the sawgrass and some of the other topography. You know, it's like one of those, and you're just kind of sitting there and breathing and listening to this
nature
lady.
sounds. Okay.
Yeah.
And that what she's doing is like basic anxiety management. One of the first things they tell you is like if you're having an anxiety attack,
Grounding.
look around you and see things that you're seeing. Be like, oh, I see the sound baffling. I see a lamp. You know, get yourself back into your body.
It's a grounding technique.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do it in here a lot of times where, like, if I start to have a freak out, you might see me go and just go through some processes.
Yeah.
Like if I go through a process, I check up and then it'll calm me down. Like, I don't know.
I never tell you guys why I'm the best husband in the world that often.
You know what? Is today the day? Because I was kind of hoping today
because
would be the day.
This reminded me that...
He's pulling his pants down.
Gary Busey.
That we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
That Crystal went through. She's still going through it, but it was bothering her more in the past couple of years, where she had tinnitus real bad, ringing in her ears. Right, she couldn't get rid of it, and so it was driving her crazy. And the only way she could sleep at night was by putting on sounds
Megadeth,
to mask
the album Megadeth.
It's worse than that, actually. It was considered like a brown or like a static white noise.
We do brown noise.
Okay, this was basically TV static, like.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And it was blasted. So she'd have to put that on. And this lasted years, by the way. Like, like 2020 through 2022. It was the loud, and the only way she could sleep was, and she put it on. And then she's like, this doesn't bother you, right? I'm like, nope. And then I just sit there. And it'll be like, and it was like loud static as you try to sleep. And then,
so relaxing for her. What do you feel? Are your shoulders up like, ah!
It was like I was David Koresh, and the ATF was trying to drive me crazy to make me leave the compound.
I'm Janet Reno.
I'm just sit there. it's not a natural. Like I wish it would. Like I'm like, wouldn't a sound like a river sound? Because I could deal with a river sound. It's like not the same. Only the loud white static noise.
Sounds like Andrea
drowns out.
I'm with you. River sounds are great. I love river sounds. In fact,
I'll do Rain River. Whatever.
Rain River's great. I have one that I like called Stream. Too many birds. If one fucking bird, if I'm listening to Scream and it's like,
yeah,
one little, she'll be like, turn that shit off.
they all have birds in them too.
Well, you know what? Like,
And I like the occasional bird because I like to see if I can find when the loop resets.
Yeah, but it's not natural.
I'm a fucking audio weirdo.
But birds should be out at night. So I agree with Andrea. Like it should
Maybe
be.
it's sick. I'm going to start turning a tail. Maybe it's a sick bird.
For me, here's the problem with the nature sound generators. We use that to mask the noise of our fucking. So, like, if I hear waves on the beach, I just get horny now.
Note to self: don't go to the beach with Ross.
Put the windows down, you start hearing the ocean on the drive over. You get a boner.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my wife doesn't make any. I wish she made more noises during sex. I don't make enough noises. Lately, I've started doing a little bit of slam jamming, where it's like.
Oh
yeah!
Come on!
I started doing some 20-something pounding, and I talked myself out of it. But a couple of I could deal with a couple of those.
Here's a fun fact. I have no idea is true or not.
Is this from the letter?
I heard this on the internet. I think Alexa told me.
I heard this from Crazy Eddie.
Did you know that you can tell the temperature it is outside by crickets?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the length of from here to
that's
your
your
hand.
Like that, Ross. This is true.
It's a fact that I've heard bandied about. I've never done the math on it, but yeah,
it's like you can count the amount of crickets that go off.
Chirps, 56 degrees.
Chirps per minute, and then divided by like 7 or something.
I think it's like or minus 42. It was
Whatever
something.
it
That
is,
was some number, and then that'll tell
That's
you
bullshit.
like that. Me and Ross heard it, so it's true. It's got to be true.
I call that bullshit.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it. You may have heard it, but I'm saying it doesn't work.
Yeah.
I don't think it works.
It's one of those ones I've heard it a million times, never done the math on it. First of all, I've never had a cricket going when I was like, I wonder what temperature it is.
Yeah, but nobody believes anything anymore. I was trying to go along with exactly what you're talking about. I think I have a great example. I was trying to teach Maisie that when you see lightning, if you count
Mississippi,
the Mississippis, and then you hear the thunder, that's how many miles away it is.
I told myself.
And she looked at me and she's like basically, she looked at me, shook her head as if like, nah, fucking, you're an idiot. That's not true.
By the way, I've always heard that. Is
that true?
I've used that.
I still use it
as a way to keep my kids safe in the pool.
Yeah.
I'm like 3 Mississippis. That's 3 miles away. We're fine. Keep swimming.
Science.
And I have no idea. And there's no really way to know if that is true. Like how the hell? Where do you go on your GPS? And
if the lightning bolt hits your kids, and then you go 1 Mississippi, 2.
Now, there is science to the fact that sound travels slower than light. So when you will see the light before the sound, and there is a relationship between how far away that light was and how long it takes the sound to get to you.
Yeah.
But lightning can strike anywhere within the storm zone. You cannot, dude.
Just because,
especially in Florida, dude.
Yeah. Anyway,
what's the like crickets? I don't feel like we hear those in Baldwin. I think we gassed those out of here. I think we gassed them out of here.
The only place I'm aware of there being crickets within a mile of my house is the fucking Ace Hardware.
Okay.
The Ace Hardware where they sell bait and shit is infested with crickets. Like some of them escaped years ago from the cricket bin and it's just full of crickets.
I think this happened this summer. Like the cicadas will have their annual hatching or whatever, and
the hatching of the juggalo.
It'll be ear piercingly loud at like twilight around my neighborhood. Like loud.
It's that noise that sounds like this.
And then Crystal will be like, "It's my tonight." You're holding her ear.
Quick, put on the brown noise.
And I'm like, "Hold on, this is the same sound. This is static. How can this drive you crazy and then help you fall asleep?"
It's like artificial diamond. No, one is real, one is fabricated.
Do you want to play? Let's play some couple voicemails.
All right, let me get these up here. If you'd like to leave us a voicemail, we would love to play them, and you can do that by downloading our app, how's our app doing? Where are we at on that?
I think it's good. Matthew has done an incredible job. I know that he's constantly fixing problems,
Yep.
which I feel bad that we have to
You
figure
do
out.
know you'll be constantly fixing this until you die. I don't think we told him that.
Yeah, like this is why.
Yeah.
Like
You're
I-
shackled to us now.
like,
You can never get away.
I feel like we brought him. Like we're like,
Yeah.
hey, we need to fix this. And
I
then-
feel bad for anybody that's ever attached themselves to this vehicle that is the show. It's bad.
And we didn't tell him, like, yeah, this is the problem that is this plagued us. That this will be a never-ending problem.
You know, I think there's a problem
and there's no fixing it once and for all.
I think there's a problem now with your fancier Android phones. And
Oh, my God.
And you know the ones that flip open and the screen, you know,
Oh,
it's a flip
God.
and you can like open it like a book and
Yeah.
the screen is foldable.
They are cool.
Yeah. They're beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I want one, but I think we have a problem with those.
Oh yeah, because the app won't.
I've had some
glitches
reports
out,
of people that are like, I have no shows. And I'm like, oh my God. I just turned on the brown noise and lay my head on the table. All right. This one is about Japanese squirt.
Hey guys, I'm listening to old Red-Faced Rogan, and he's talking to his boys. I think it's the Protect Our Parks episodes, one of the latest ones. And they're talking about how the Japanese filled some lady's bladder with blue dye and then was making her squirt, and it was all blue dye. So that's what squirting is it's incontinence, and they're just peeing all over themselves. So Tom and Dan are right.
I know. I've been saying this for like damn near a decade now. I've been telling you guys that women like to make you as a male, like to pump your ego by making you think that you fuck them so good that and then they put their hand in front of their pussy and then they do they fan it out and then they just piss all over their houses.
They call it the hippo tail.
Yeah, it's called the hippo tail.
And I still maintain that just because that's how they simulate it in a porn movie doesn't mean that it's not a real thing.
Right. Yeah. I know. We disagree on this.
Yeah.
It's one of the only things.
It's the civil war of Tom and Dan.
Well,
what's up, gang?
The problem is ultimately the biology of a human is like, well, where is the liquid coming from? And there's no
So horny, I don't care. That's what I think is the answer.
Who cares?
Yes, that's what I want you to say.
I mean,
I'm not anti
I'm not gonna
you getting
freak
pissed
out.
on. I think people think that. I have never been anti.
I'm not a
getting pissed
baby.
on. No, I'm not a child.
Yeah,
You do whatever you want to do. If you're a BDM and you want your wife to wear big Biden aviators and you piss in our aviators, like I've seen with my own two midget maneyes, then that's fine. But I don't judge that at all. But what I don't like is when you say squirt is squirt. My only thing is I don't think that's a thing. But do whatever you want.
Yeah. It
And
doesn't
even
matter.
say you can even say I'm wrong. That's fine too.
You're wrong.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah.
The thing is, we're right. We can't be wrong. Anyway.
Let's try this one right here.
Hey guys, it's Bubble Bath Billy. I was laying in bed last night, tooted before I went to bed to help me sleep like I normally do. Laying there, and I thought of this scenario. I don't even know how or why, but I thought it was interesting, and I still think it's interesting today when I'm sober, so maybe that's a good sign. But wanted to run it by you guys. So imagine you are in a, say, reality TV show or Truman Show type scenario where you know for a fact, there's no doubts, there's no way to work around it. You know for a fact you're being live streamed 24/7. Anybody in the world can see you. You know, your mom and grandma, your elementary school teacher. You're alone, right? So you're not having sex with your wife or anybody. How long do you think you could go without masturbating? The assumption being that you wouldn't want people to see you doing that. And you can apply whatever rules you want to make it more interesting, like the game show ends once you do that, or you make more money the longer you go without doing it. But how long do you think you could hold out before you were just like, F it, I have to, clean the gun or whatever? Just curious. What are you guys' thoughts? All right.
Yeah, what do you think?
Never heard it called cleaning the gun before.
Me neither.
I've thought
I'm
about
surprised
this.
I haven't thought of that before.
I have a solution instantly. You just put a blanket over you. Well, that's it. Or get into a cardboard box.
That's your solution? You're like, wait, guys, wait.
There's no camera.
Hold on.
The
wait,
cameras
I'm
are.
raising my hand. I'm Tom. Wait. Yes, Tom. Just put a blanket on your dick. Hold on. Is that your answer?
No, you just like.
I got $20 right here, right now. If you can climb into a cardboard box and jerk off.
Jerk off challenge. Let's go.
Jerks on.
Jerks on you, motherfucker. That's the name of the show. The Jerks on You.
I have a specialty with jerking off around cardboard boxes. I've trained my whole life for this.
Honestly, I'm 99% on your side all the time. This one you're going to want to sit out. This motherfucker can jerk around the cardboard. Guaranteed. Just walk out slowly with your hands up, Ross. I can't let you do this.
I'm at home watching the live feed, and Tom finishes his Campbell soup or whatever.
And there's all these boxes.
Then he just climbs into a box. I'm not gonna know you're jerking off. Just jerk off in front of me. I know what you're doing in the box, dude.
No, you don't know. You don't see it. I do. Even if you know, but we all know everybody jerks off. But we don't see it. We don't watch you.
But I know you never, 100% never go into a cardboard box. Never.
But
so if you do, I know you're jerking off.
No, but in this scenario, you're in the Truman Show. I know. I've thought about that. And then there's hidden cameras everywhere.
I would just do it. I would just do it and assume that everybody does it.
You're going to watch me shit on a long enough timeline.
Yeah.
Like, if you watch me shit, watch me jerk off.
Yeah, it's going to be grosser watching me shit than it is watching me jerk off.
I put a blanket over myself on shit too.
I don't know if I can shit under a blanket. I don't know if I can shit under a blanket.
There's no way.
I have never shit with my eyes closed.
Never in the dark?
Not without a phone light.
Can you imagine?
On a camping trip, I've shit in the dark.
Yeah.
You're taking a shit and then you accidentally wipe your ass with your jerk off blanket? That's that's awful.
But I'm saying, if there's cameras all around the room, you just put a box, a U-Haul.
Oh, you got a shit blanket on. Boom!
U-Haul wardrobe box over you.
Call him stupid in the chat room. You're stupid, right? That's
Ed Harris filled that box full of cameras, though. he beat you to it.
Oh, my God.
Anyway, but,
chat room says, Ross gets horny from white noise. Tom gets horny from cardboard. Dan gets horny from everything.
But first off,
did you just say call me a furt?
No.
Who farted?
I contend that every man in this room and listening, if they got horny enough because they haven't
what's
jacked
the longest you've gone without jacking?
In the modern era,
I have no recollection of ever not jacking it. I jack it every day.
I think days. There's been days. Like you go on camping.
Mama said there'd be days
like on our camping trip. They're like, I'm not jacking.
I don't jack it on the camping trip.
Yeah. And then,
but I have had sex on almost every camping trip.
Really?
Except for the Maisie ones. Yeah. I'll fuck it stinky. I don't care. I don't care.
Why do you think he brought that refrigerator box?
I honestly don't care.
Yeah, but Andrew was cool with it.
I'm not going to say she was cool with it.
But I'm
going to say she's like, I got to calm this little guy down.
Okay, that's what I. God damn it.
Yeah, she'll be like, okay,
yeah.
And there's something extra naughty about it.
Yeah. I like some good give up sex. your wife or your spouse is just doing it to appease you.
Yeah. The look on their face. Horrified. All right, you want another one?
We'll do one more.
Let's do this one. This one came in before the. My wife's in the chat room. What did she say? Somebody's laughing at her. I don't know what she said because I don't know if she's in the chat room.
She said she loves fucking in a tent.
Let's do this one. I don't think she does, Ross.
Hey, Tom, Dan, and Sam. BDM Mississippi Josh here. Sitting in the parking lot in DeLand at the Pizza Hut waiting on my pizza to get ready. But that's another story. I was listening to the OG show. Tom brought up if he had an affair and about the bro code and what Daniel tell on him. It made me think to one of the worst awkward times of my life. My best friend at the time in Mississippi confided in me that he was fucking what is probably my second best friend at the time, his wife. And I had just moved to Florida, and I'm back visiting, and I find this out, and so now I got to tote this around. And then not so long after that, his big pregnant wife, that was also my wife at the time, a bitch of an ex-wife now, her first cousin, so big fat pregnant wife and my mad wife, confront me to ask me about it a little bit later, sometime later. And now I'm in deep shit too, because I've known about it for a while. So yeah, since then, I tell my buddies, like, if it comes up and somebody's wanting to sneak around, do something shady, I'll be like, don't, you ain't doing it with me. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. Because damn, that was a terrible situation. So yeah, they're divorced now. I'm divorced now too, but not because of that. Anyway, love the show.
I killed that man. I love this guy. He's been on a lot of our events.
Is it Mississippi Joe? What's his name?
Josh, I think
Mississippi Josh.
Yeah.
Did I do the math on that one right? The guy
Jerry, Mississippi Jerry.
The guy at the time was
Mississippi.
fucking his best friend's wife, and now is married to his ex-wife. Did I do the math on that one right?
Yeah,
No, I thought
it was all incestuous.
Yeah.
No. I think he was saying that that wife and his wife at the time confronted him, like, why didn't you fess up? He was just clarifying that he's no longer married to that lady at the time. But at the time he was. Yeah, I kind of got lost in there, too.
I thought his friend was fucking all the wives.
Yeah,
That's what I was
Southern people have a tendency to put so many details in there, you get a little confused.
Yeah, he told us about his fucking pizza and said that was another story. No.
Yeah. It's like
He
talking
told
to my
that
dad.
story.
No, it's like talking to my dad. He's chirping. It's a good Southern man.
Also, what's the motivation for his friend to tell him the truth about what he's
feels
get it
guilty.
off his
Feels
chest?
guilty, yeah.
Like it makes him feel better that someone else, like he told someone.
Yeah, misery loves company. And if maybe you'll tell me it's not that bad. You know, maybe you would. I would look for you. If I'm tearing my family apart, I would look for you to get my back. And if you didn't, I would try to destroy your life.
I think that guy's bragging.
You think it's a brag?
Yeah, I think so. Because otherwise, why do you tell? Like, you're just putting the information out there. Like, there's no real reason to do that unless you want
Or maybe you want to be
praise.
caught. That's a thing that people always say. They're like,
Yeah.
you said that because you wanted to be caught. I've never believed that. I've never wanted to ever be caught in anything I've ever done that's bad.
Shaggy did give her the key. So, I mean,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not ever. And when I was caught, idiot.
You know, I just thought about the fact that I can rationalize anything.
Okay.
So if you tell me something horrible that you did, I can try to find like the bright side or like well, tell you why it's not that bad.
Sure.
And so maybe I am a good friend when
You
it
are a
comes
good
to
friend.
if you tell me you did something horrible, I'll be like, well, what did the other person do? Like why?
I mean, look on the bright side. You learned a lot of great skills from being a slave.
I mean, it's not your total fault. You're a man. You're horny. One thing led to another. Like you feel a little guilty, right?
I do. Yeah. And then
Tom,
it's not that bad.
I'm feeling a little bit bad about myself. I mailed this letter to 500 of my brother's neighbors, and it's really shitting on him.
But most likely, all the neighbors aren't doing anything about they're just all talking shit. So it's not negatively affecting Crazy 80s
I like
life.
the idea of standing.
I feel better now.
I like the idea of standing at the Kinko's and going, nah, black and white's fine for the photo. You know what I mean? Like, you could have gone colors, but you knew you were working with a budget.
It is a 7-year-old photo, so like the color really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
like if someone told my friends or coworkers or people that I interacted with all the time something bad about me, maybe I'd care more than just my random neighbors. Like, I don't really care, because I see them, I say hi. It's not like I'm.
We heard you cheated. Yeah, it would be one of those. Yeah.
You're right. There's another comedy promoter in town that doesn't like me, and every once in a while I will see a comic go do one of her shows and then come back and act weird around me. And I know she just fucking lies about me. I know for a fact.
Shit?
I know for a fact she does because I've been told some of the lies she tells about me. So every once in a while I just like see some comic go off and do one of her shows and come back and it's like, hey Ross, and I'm like, you got told some bullshit.
No, what are they saying about you?
Boy, how deep into this do I want to get?
I mean, how bad is it?
Oh man, I thought we were coming in for a landing, and
Yeah.
Tom just brought out a new cake and lit the fuse. I'm like, let's go.
Is it like blatant horrible lies?
I think I know a few of these.
Or is it just like
I
you
think I
definitely do.
Yeah.
There was an incident that happened that was greatly exaggerated. That is one of the things that, and I was just fucking there. I wasn't even part of it, really. Yeah.
Okay.
That's how serious it is. You feel that energy? Do you feel the energy? It's good.
I would have to drag more names
Why
into it that would be
why
worth
does this
it.
person not like you?
Well, part of the reason is because I fucking tell her to her face that she's a lying piece of shit. And I don't, I don't
He
brook
doesn't
like
hold his tongue much.
once I discover that about you, I'm done with you. I'm done with you.
So, but it had to have started somewhere, right? Like, was there like a competing?
You're pretty good at this radio host. Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him.
I feel my sleeves falling off.
Look at him. Look at him go.
So there. Okay, Big Tim. You guys remember Big Tim?
Yeah.
He used to do the pool parties at his house.
Oh yeah,
he did a couple like pool party comedy shows, and he had me host a couple of them because I would bring you fucking guys out. You know,
but you're also a good host too.
I'm decent at it, and so I'm hosting one of these Big Tim pool parties, and it's a rainy day, so nobody shows up. So it's just me and Tim and like the comics that he booked. And we're not going out to the pool because it's just raining. So we're just sitting around smoking weed, and we're talking about somehow we're talking about fucked up country songs. And it may have even I'll take the blame. I brought up "Coward of the County."
Okay.
Which is a fucked up country song. There's a triple rape that happens in the middle of it.
Okay, all right.
And it's like, hey,
what is it? Who's
during
it
a
by?
banjo solo.
I forget, but you'll remember, Tom, like Carolla used to talk about this song because whoever wrote the song, he used actual, like, the three guys that commit the triple rape in the song. He uses the names of three, like, other country singers that he doesn't like.
It was Kenny Rogers?
It's a Kenny Rogers song, yeah. And he, like, who are the brothers in Coward of the County?
I'm looking at them here.
They're like, the name of the brothers he used are like some real country brothers.
He used the Gatlin Boys.
So, yeah.
Who were my father's favorite. My dad liked the Gatlin Boys, but maybe because they were alleged rapists. You know, I don't know.
So I bring up, that's a fucked up country song. And Big Tim's just sitting at the computer. He was playing like a war simulator or something. He goes to YouTube, types in Coward of the County, and somebody on YouTube has made a 3D simulation of like a video of the Coward of the County. Like,
all right,
a lot of it's about him like declining fights, and then you get to the one scene, and so like at a certain like it was a room full of mostly dudes, and we're just like fucking laughing and having fun, and everybody in the room was a comic. So like I wasn't thinking about like people as people. It was like just comics laughing and having fun and
about
sharing
fucked up shit. Yeah.
At a certain point, we looked over and there's this one lady comic, and she like at a certain point goes, "Hey, I'm not comfortable with this," and so we all immediately like halt. Big Tim closes out. We're like, "Oh yeah, no, we get it." Fine. Hey, we don't have to talk about Coward of the County. Let's talk about the other stuff. Shift the conversation around. It's a different conversation. She still is not comfortable. She's like, I want to leave. And so Big Tim's like, whatever. Yeah, I'll call you an Uber. Just Uber. She Ubers out, and that's what happened. The next time I was talking to, God, I don't want to drag them. I was talking to Mickey and Jackie that produced my podcast.
Yeah.
And we were talking, it was when we were setting up Tots. And they were like, now listen, we were doing it at their house at the time. And they were like, there's just a couple people that we don't want coming in, and one of them was this other comic, Jared Scott, who's a piece of shit. And then this lady's name came up, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Why is that? And then they had some dealings with her that went south, and I said, oh, that's weird. I always feel sorry for her. Because this one time we were at Big Tim's house and we were talking about Coward of the County, and she felt uncomfortable, and I felt bad about that. And I told them the story of what happened, and then they look at me and go, the way she tells that story, Ross, is that you were inciting everybody there to rape her personally.
Oh my God!
Right,
that's what I had heard. No, I've never. Yeah,
and so I was
I had that written down.
I was like,
open the envelope.
I was like, what did you just say? They're like, the way she tells that story, you were there saying, let's rape her, basically. and then they looked at me and they were like, well, we're actually glad you brought this up because this has always been like a weird thing.
Always thought you did that.
In a vacuum,
house and you screamed, "Let's rape this one woman!"
In a vacuum, somebody tells you that. Like, what are you gonna think? Like, why would they make that up? Well, it turns out they're a fucking sociopath.
Hold on, but if someone told me they were like, "Hey, I was sitting at Big Tim's house and Ross started screaming, 'Let's rape this person," I'm like, that didn't happen, right? Because I know that Ross wouldn't do that. And I'm like, that.
You don't strike me as the type of guy to yell, "Let's rape her." Like, really, truly.
I was like, that never. And then whatever the person said, I'm like, I need more people to confirm what you're saying is true. You saying it, that does not sound.
I feel like
anything.
Now is a good time. ever to talk about Manscaped. They have the new Manscaped 5.0 Ultra with the safe skin technology. Wowzers, is it good?
Listen, before I rape, I manscape.
Oh, my God.
Tracy's in that.
That's what, hey,
apology.
That's what gets you the account back? I mean, come
Apology
on.
into the subject line. It'll work. Trust me.
And just the clip of Ross.
Just him. Video only.
What get an email? I got it back. Look back. Double. The very double.
What do we need to plug?
Tots with Ross. Ross, where can you find Tots with Ross?
Your local, any of your finer podcasting apps. Search for The Orlando Talk Show. With me, Ross McCoy. Most recent episode, very interesting with Danielle Mathis, one of my favorite new comics on the scene, and a former UCF Nitro mascot. We talk about mascots quite a bit. Yeah, super cool. We get into mascots deep.
Very cool, man.
And the Bull and Bush every Wednesday at 9. I won't be there because I'm just having people do it for me now. But Wednesday at 9, open mic. And this Saturday, 9 p.m., we got a great show for you. Like I was telling you, Dan, I don't book any assholes anymore. It's all good shows from here on out.
I love it, man.
And I'll be hosting a Big Tim pool party coming up. Could you check that out?
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Semantics.
Now, here's my beef with Dirty Jim.
Leave him alone. He was sick this week.
He was. I think
I
it's
love
COVID.
Dirty Jim. I love Dirty Jim.
All right. Let's get
We
out
did
of here.
Tots with Ross. Check out Semantics. I do not know if they recorded on their anniversary, but I would imagine that they fired up the recording equipment at some point. So go to Semantics Pod and check that out wherever you download your podcast. Anything else we need to tell them?
That's it. We got a BDM Appreciation Week coming up and a BDM party at the end of the Appreciation
Yes,
Week.
sir.
That's going to be pretty fun, I think. I think a lot of people are going to have a good time with this one. But you have to be a BDM to be invited.
Yeah, so you might want to sign up or check your account and make sure it's still up to date.
Yep, and that's at tomandan.com.
Yes, sir. Guys, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate the hell out of you.
You know
and-
what? There's that Bubba trivia coming up at Johnny's on
Yes.
the 13th.
Yeah,
I
let's
don't know
talk
if you
about
guys have mentioned that, but
Is it on the... I thought it was on the 10th.
it's like the second Saturday in February. Just
What
look
is
at
it?
It's
Johnny's Other Side. They're doing a tribute to Bubba. I think it's the second Saturday in February. I could be wrong about that. Just check out Johnny's Instagram. I thought that was a good idea, and
Yeah.
I thought you guys as fans.
Well,
would.
there's a lot to unpack there, too.
Yes,
I mean, a
it's
lot
true.
of questions.
It's
so,
true.
yeah, that could be really, really good. Thank you for throwing that
Yeah,
in.
no
I
worries.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Anything else?
That's it. We'll see you on Monday's BDM show.
Hold it, fellas. Oh, wait a minute. I can't publish that. It's mediocre.